babes, we strictly need to talk about how a billionaire who was high on ketamine and cocaine just accidentally Looney Tunesed himself straight into the afterlife while wearing a flaming bathrobe, because we are literally spiraling.
It is objectively the pinnacle of slapstick tragedy.
Yeah.
I mean, slipping on highly polished marble because a stray bullet hit a flower vase.
Insane. Just insane.
Right. Like sending him airborne. You truly cannot script a more pathetic end for an apex predator.
Welcome back, babes. We are so glad to have you here with us this evening. And as always, we love you.
We do. And we especially love you when you validate our life choices, which we are about to aggressively defend tonight.
Oh, absolutely. Because, babes, the room-spiked Arnold Palmers are on deck tonight.
And let me just put this on the official record right now. It is a whole vibe.
An immaculate vibe. An elite vibe. We actually need to spiral hard about this for a second because I am genuinely furious at society. Why are Arnold Palmers so criminally underrated? It is structurally the perfect beverage. You have the sharp, acidic tartness of the lemonade, which wakes up your palate.
Right.
And then that is perfectly balanced by the earthy, tannic bitterness of the iced tea. But then, and this is where the absolute magic happens, when you add a heavy, unapologetic pour of white rum.
Oh, it changes everything.
James, it instantly upgrades the entire experience. It fundamentally alters the molecular structure of the evening.
It really does. The ethanol in the rum basically acts as a flavor carrier.
Right.
Yeah, it cuts through the cloying sweetness of the lemonade and highlights the astringency of the black tea.
Yes.
It elevates it from, like, I am having a mediocre lunch at a roadside diner to I am actively avoiding federal taxes on a yacht off the coast of Monaco.
Exactly.
It's the drink of a retired millionaire with highly suspicious hobbies.
That's exactly how I feel holding this glass right now. Like, I feel like I should be wearing a pastel cashmere sweater tied loosely around my neck.
Totally. Standing on a mahogany deck somewhere. Exactly. Standing on a deck, judging my neighbors from behind extremely expensive polarized sunglasses.
Yes. You see the vision. I am already imagining myself on a golf course I've literally never visited in my life.
You're not true.
I am fully embracing the country club delusion. Like, I don't even play golf. I literally do not know the difference between a putter and a, whatever the metallic ones are called.
An iron or a wedge.
Oh, right, an iron. But right now, with this rum-spiked Arnold Palmer sweating condensation into my hand, I am entirely ready to march up to the clubhouse manager.
Oh, you're complaining about the sand traps.
Oh, I am complaining about the inadequate raking of the sand traps on the back nine.
It's sheer, unadulterated privilege in a glass.
And there is a fundamental psychological truth we need to unpack here, which is that Friday drinks inherently hit harder than weekday drinks.
Oh, without a doubt.
Like, a Tuesday drink is medicinal. It is pure survival. A Friday drink, that is a celebration of escaping the capitalist machine with fraction of your soul still intact.
Yes. Okay, babes. Speaking of escaping the capitalist machine, we just survived a completely chaotic Friday at the dental office.
Rarely. We barely survived.
And honestly, we earned these drinks.
Earned is putting it incredibly mildly. We survived a siege. We endured actual trench warfare in the oral cavity today.
For those of you who might be new to the Snark squad, we are both dentists. We work at completely separate offices. But the universe somehow decided today was the day to collectively test our sanity.
It really did.
Let's start with the highs, though. We need to manifest positivity before I completely unravel into a puddle of stress on this microphone.
Fair enough. The highs, well, I mean, the Friday energy in a clinical setting is a very real phenomenon.
Oh, it is. It's palpable.
There's this collective delusion that washes over the entire staff by about, say, 1 p.m., where everyone implicitly agrees to pretend that the morning's disasters just never happened.
Because the afternoon signifies imminent freedom?
Yes. And the funny coworkers who just keep you absolutely sane. Like, we had a hygienist today who was just doing spot-on impressions of our worst patients in the break room.
Those are the people keeping the healthcare system running.
Honestly, yes. It was the only thing keeping me tethered to reality. And then the sheer intoxicating relief of walking out the back door.
Escaping work alive.
Exactly. The sun is shining, and you take that first deep breath of post-work freedom. The weather was perfect. The aesthetic of the evening was practically calling my name.
The dopamine rush of locking the clinic door is undeniable. But then we have to acknowledge the lows, which were aggressively low today.
The back-to-back appointments. Babes, my schedule was a nightmare.
A nightmare.
It was a Tetris board of chaos. It was just an endless, unrelenting parade of mouths. I didn't even have time to hydrate.
You're just running on fumes.
I was just moving from room to room like a robot.
Well, let's talk about the infrastructure collapsing. My primary suction system decided today, of all days, that it wanted to unionize and go on strike.
Oh no, not the suction.
Do you know how stressful it is to maintain a sterile, dry field during a complex restorative procedure when your equipment is actively working against you?
It is literal torture.
It's a nightmare. And then there is the psychological toll. You know, exhausting your social battery, pretending to have boundless energy.
Oh, the small talk.
Right. You are asking people, how was your week? Any fun weekend plans?
Mm-hmm.
When in reality, I actively do not care.
Not even a little bit.
I am silently, desperately counting down to the weekend by lunch.
By lunch. Babes, I was counting down by 9:15 a.m.
Fair.
I was emotionally surviving strictly on iced caffeine and pure unadulterated vibes. And honestly, mostly just the vibes, because by my third iced coffee, my adrenal glands had completely given up on me.
I will openly admit this with zero shame. I am exactly one minor inconvenience away from early retirement.
You've been saying that for a year.
But I mean it today. If one more patient asks me a highly complex diagnostic question while I literally have both of my hands, a mirror, and a high-speed drill inside their mouth,
Oh, that's the worst.
I am hanging up my white coat, selling all my worldly possessions, and moving to a cabin in the woods to whittle wooden spoons.
You would absolutely hate the woods. The humidity would ruin your hair, and there's no Wi-Fi out there.
I would adapt.
Sure you would. But babes, we have to tell the Snark Squad about the one thing that actually saved our morning. Our Pilates reformers finally arrived.
Shout out to Amazon Logistics. Truly.
Yes.
The delivery drivers who hauled those massive boxes up the steps deserve congressional medals of honor.
They really do. And yes, babes, we made the completely unhinged decision to set them up right here at the recording studio before we even went to work.
Because we are dedicated to the aesthetic.
Obviously. And babes, they are elite.
Aesthetically, they look like medieval stretching racks that have been redesigned by a luxury Scandinavian furniture brand.
Exactly.
They are beautiful, but highly intimidating.
I am spiraling hard because I just looked at it and I feel truly athletic for the first time in maybe 5 years.
You haven't even used it yet.
I haven't even done a full workout on it yet, but just knowing it is in my possession makes me feel like I have an incredibly strong core.
The delusion is strong.
But we need to be transparent about the absolute chaos of trying to figure out how these machines actually work. I almost ended up in the emergency room immediately.
It was a fascinating display of physics.
I put one foot on the carriage without checking the spring tension, and the entire thing just shot backward like a rocket. I was suddenly doing a full split in my business casual work pants.
You looked exactly like a newborn baby giraffe trying to find its footing on a frozen pond.
I was fighting for my life.
It brings up this hilarious sociological point, though, right? Like, how incredibly expensive fitness hobbies instantly become an entire personality trait.
Oh, 100%.
I have had this reformer in my general vicinity for less than 12 hours, and I am already mentally judging people who do regular mat-based floor Pilates.
Like peasants.
Right. Like, oh, you just use gravity and a foam mat. How quaint. How primitive.
It is a lifestyle. It elevates you to a new demographic. But here's the debate we've been having in the group chat all day, and I need the listeners to weigh in down below.
Let's hear it.
Do we still need to pay for Pilates classes now that we have our own studio-grade reformers? Because I am vehemently arguing that we do.
Which is financially irresponsible.
Classes keep you accountable. If I am alone in the studio and I don't have a terrifyingly fit instructor named something like Sven yelling at me to tuck my pelvis and engage my transverse abdominis,
You just lie down.
I am just going to lie on the padded carriage, pull a blanket over myself, and scroll on TikTok. I know myself.
And I am arguing the exact opposite. I am already preparing to cancel every single boutique fitness membership I have and become an entirely self-taught Pilates master.
You are going to hurt yourself.
Why am I paying exorbitant monthly fees when I have the literal equipment right here? I will stream a video, I will learn the biomechanical routines, and I will execute them flawlessly.
No, you won't.
The concept of accountability is just a myth propagated by big fitness to keep you locked into auto-renewing contracts.
But babes, you need a professional to check your form. What if you're doing heavy footwork and your spine isn't in a neutral alignment?
I'll figure it out.
You're going to compress a disc, you're going to pull a muscle, and then you definitely can't retire early because you'll be drowning in orthopedic medical bills.
I am a doctor. I spent years studying human anatomy. I know where my vertebrae are.
Knowing where they are and keeping them safe are two different things.
I will simply choose not to pull a muscle. It is mind over matter. And frankly, canceling those classes is a life-changing financial decision.
Okay, fine.
Think of the sheer volume of premium white rum we could buy with that extra capital.
Okay, wait, that is a wildly valid point on the rum budget.
Exactly.
But babes, we also need to mention that we just finished the most elite dinner to fuel this intense debate.
So good.
We grabbed ramen from the new restaurant down the street, and babes, it was amazing.
It wasn't just amazing. It was a deeply spiritual, restorative experience.
I am spiraling hard about the emotional healing power of ramen. Because, let's be real, noodles are the undisputed royalty of the comfort food kingdom.
Nothing else comes close.
There is absolutely nothing else. Mac and cheese is fine, pizza is great, but when you have survived a chaotic Friday and you sit down in front of a giant, steaming, perfectly composed bowl of rich tonkatsu broth,
It fixes you.
it literally heals childhood trauma. It mentally pays off your student loans.
I approach it a bit more analytically, but I arrive at the exact same conclusion. I will admit, I judge ramen establishments entirely, 100%, based on their noodle quality and texture.
Oh, you're such a snob about the noodles.
I have to be. The broth can be incredible, but if the alkaline noodles are overcooked and mushy,
It's ruined.
the relationship is immediately over. If they don't have that perfect, slightly resistant, chewy pull, that bite,
Right.
I'm mentally drafting a scathing one-star review while I force myself to eat it.
Yeah.
But this place down the street, they never miss.
Never.
The hydration level of their dough is perfection. Finding a local restaurant that is consistently scientifically flawless is statistically rarer than finding true love.
I am deeply emotionally attached to the broth, though. The depth of flavor, the fat rendering, the umami.
It's intense.
I could just drink it from an insulated thermos all day at the clinic. It genuinely cures mental health issues. I am fully convinced of this.
It really does.
If you are having a bad day, a stressful week, or just a generally overwhelming year, soup is the answer. It is just a warm, sodium-rich hug for your internal organs.
Well, it is the sodium. The massive influx of sodium temporarily spikes your blood pressure and gives you a mild euphoric rush. It's basic physiology.
Stop analyzing my joy. Let me have my emotional romantic connection to the noodles.
Just stating the facts.
Okay, babes, enough spiraling about our own chaotic lives because we have a massive agenda tonight. We need to get into this recap.
We need to surgically unpack Your Friends and Neighbors, Season 2, Episode 9.
Oh my God.
The episode titled, Propaganda from the Cowardly. Which, frankly, is the most accurate title they could have possibly chosen for the absolute mess we just witnessed.
Babes, the way I am still physically recovering from this hour of television, it was so messy, it was so deeply chaotic, it was everything we wanted and more.
It delivered.
I was shouting in the screen. Let's start right at the beginning of the episode with what the entire internet is completely correctly calling the lamest kidnapping known to human history.
It really was a disgrace to the entire genre of crime thrillers. Like, just to set the stage, we ended the last episode on this massive heart-pounding cliffhanger, right?
Okay.
Coop is walking to his car, someone grabs him, a black bag goes over his head. We spent the entire week thinking, like, oh my God, the cartel finally got him, or the feds snatched him up.
Someone incredibly serious and dangerous has him.
Exactly. And what actually happens when they pull the bag off?
He is tied to a dining room chair. And the masked men are standing there, and they don't hit him, they don't torture him, they just hold up an iPad. An iPad. And they show him a surveillance video of his little secret visit to Liv. They very calmly tell him, the money stays where it is.
So polite.
And then this is the part that sent me into orbit. They just, leave a sharp pocket knife on the table right next to him so he can easily cut himself free.
Just terrible kidnapping protocol.
Babes, what kind of kidnappers politely leave you a tool to escape and then just casually walk out the door? I am literally screaming at the television.
It completely shatters the illusion of danger. But let's analytically dissect these kidnappers for a second, because the details are fascinating here.
Okay, let's hear it.
They didn't physically harm him. They gave him a very specific, almost corporate-style warning. And crucially, the man who spoke had a very distinct, polished English accent.
Yes, the accent.
So we have to ask, Who actually orchestrated this? Was it Liv? Was she trying to scare him into keeping the money at the firm so she doesn't lose her job?
I don't think it was Liv.
Or was it Cricket, flexing her muscle because she previously warned him she'd, have his head on a pike?
Maybe Cricket.
Or was it DeMille, the ultra-shady lawyer who handles all the offshore accounts?
See, I absolutely do not think it was Liv. A 29-year-old finance girl from the suburbs does not have the underground clout or the budget to hire polite British mercenaries to tie a grown man to a chair. She just doesn't.
Fair point. But regardless of who signed the check for these goons, the entire sequence highlights the most infuriating aspect of this show.
Coop's plot armor.
Coop's unbearable titanium-strength plot armor. He survives absolutely everything with zero actual consequences.
Zero.
And worse, he is frankly being a giant baby about problems that are entirely 100% self-created. He actively chose to steal. He repeatedly lied to his family. He willingly got caught up with a manic billionaire's dirty money.
He brought this all on himself.
And when someone finally puts a bag over his head to hold him accountable, they don't even punch him. They leave him a knife. It's insulting to the very concept of a kidnapping.
And his reaction to it, he cuts himself free and he just walks home.
Like a walk of shame.
He literally walks down the suburban street in the early dawn light, looking a little sweaty. He goes into his gorgeous house, walks into the living room, and checks on his kids.
Who are fine.
Hunter and Tori are just totally fine, snoring on the couch, completely oblivious. And then Coop walks into the kitchen and throws up in the stainless steel sink.
So dramatic.
And that's it. That's the entire manifestation of his trauma.
The vomiting in the sink is such a cliche, but it's telling, right?
Mm.
His body is physically rejecting the reality of the situation because his ego can't handle it.
His fragile male ego.
But are we absolutely sure it wasn't Owen Ashe who ordered it? Because later in the episode, Coop aggressively confronts Ashe at that bizarre mansion party, and Ashe looks at him and says, "I don't operate that way."
And you believe him.
If you watch Ashe's micro-expressions, you can tell he is actually sincere. He is completely clueless about the kidnapping.
Which just further proves that Coop is a fake gangster. He acts tough. He plays the role of the master burglar, but the second real, actual stakes are introduced, his nervous system collapses and he vomits.
He is a fraud.
He is such a fraud. He's not a mastermind. He is just a guy who gets insanely lucky falling upward.
Always.
Do you remember that scene earlier in the season where he literally walks right through the middle of a massive gang fight on the street and completely goes unnoticed?
Oh my God, yes.
Lou, the pawn shop owner, even calls him out on it. He tells Coop, "You've got God on your side." It's absurd.
It is absurd.
And it makes me so mad because there are dudes all over Reddit and Twitter idolizing Coop. They think he's the new Don Draper or Walter White.
Which is entirely missing the point.
They are completely missing the point the writers are making. He is a terrible, incompetent person who just happens to be incredibly lucky.
Exactly. He is the embodiment of mediocre privilege. And worse, he's a parasite. He drags everyone else down with him to save himself.
Always.
Which perfectly transitions us into the absolute mess that is Elena and Ali.
Oh my God, yes. So Ollie has completely disappeared. She's gone.
Vanished.
She is not answering any of Coop's frantic calls. She didn't leave a forwarding address. She just ghosted him, which honestly, good for her. Protect your peace, Ollie.
Smartest character on the show right now.
But because Coop cannot handle not being in control, he has to ask Sam to use her luxury realtor contacts to illegally look up where Ollie rented a new apartment.
It's classic stalking disguised as romantic concern.
So toxic. But while he is obsessing over Ollie, his other massive problem shows up. Elena literally breaks into Coop's house.
The cinematography of this scene is brilliant.
It is just brilliant physical comedy. She pries open a side window, struggles to climb through it, confronts Coop, and then when she leaves,
He just walks out the front door.
she hilariously just unlocks the front door and walks out onto the porch.
The physical comedy of entering through a window like a cat burglar and exiting through the front door like a disappointed mother is top-tier television.
It really is. And she is furious. She wants her half of the money from the vintage baseball card they stole together.
Which is fair.
And Coop, the absolute narcissist, has the audacity to tell her that Lou needs more time to authenticate it. Babes, I am spiraling about Elena's sheer entitlement, demanding stolen money, but at the exact same time, I have to fiercely defend her.
You have to.
She is sick of Coop dragging her down. She is drowning. She has this massive life-ruining crisis going on with her brother, and Coop is just sitting in his empty house like, "Hey, want to hang out? I'm feeling lonely."
It is the sheer, unadulterated narcissism of Coop. He treats women like emotional support appliances.
He really does.
The man hooks up with every single woman on this show who makes eye contact with him. It's getting ridiculous.
Yeah.
James Bond would look at Coop's sheer volume of romantic subplots and tell him to calm down.
Seriously, take a breather, Coop.
And notice his complete and utter disregard for Elena's problems. Yes, Elena's problems regarding her brother are entirely self-created. She made terrible choices, but Coop doesn't care. Coop only cares about Coop. He is lonely because Ali finally got smart and left, so he tries to use Elena for company, completely ignoring the frantic, desperate reason she is actually standing in his living room.
He is so toxic. He is unequivocally the most toxic man in this entire fictional zip code.
Without question.
But babes, if we were talking about toxic and messy, we have to pivot and talk about my absolute favorite train wreck on television right now.
Oh, Mel. Mel is experiencing the most chaotic, unhinged week of her entire adult life, and I am seated for every single second of it.
First of all, the dog. We have to talk about the dog.
Poor Arlo.
She has successfully buried the neighbor's dog, Arlo, the dog that she accidentally hit with her car.
Just brutal.
The opening shot of her is just incredible. She is sobbing on her knees on the pristine suburban lawn in the middle of the night, physically pressing the dirt down over this makeshift grave.
With her bare hands.
And while she's doing this, she can literally hear the neighbors 2 houses down walking the street, shaking a bag of treats, calling Arlo's name.
It is so dark.
And babes, the twisted part is she is secretly thrilled. She is crying, but she also mutters about how she doesn't have to deal with the dog pooping in her prize-winning flower beds anymore.
So pragmatic.
I was screaming at my TV. The duality of woman. She feels immense guilt, but she's also practically like, well, the landscaping is going to be immaculate this spring.
I have to aggressively judge Mel here, though. You don't just bury a golden retriever in your hydrangeas and hope the problem magically goes away.
I mean, she panicked.
That is objectively psychotic behavior.
Yeah.
The compartmentalization required to do that is terrifying. If Coop hadn't happened to walk up right when she was having her emotional breakdown over the freshly turned dirt, she probably would have been caught.
True.
She is literally one nosy neighbor with a Ring camera away from a felony animal endangerment and destruction of property charge.
But you have to give her some grace. Wait, you have to give her some grace. She is going through severe menopause.
Hormones do not excuse impromptu pet burials.
Her hormones are fluctuating wildly. She is experiencing hot flashes, emotional deregulation, insomnia. The show is actually doing an incredible job showing how society completely ignores the reality of middle-aged women's health.
It is.
But it leads us right into the most absurd social event of the season.
The baby sprinkle.
The baby sprinkle.
Grace and Barney's celebration of excess.
Babes, I need to scream about the entire socioeconomic concept of a baby sprinkle.
Go ahead.
It is a baby shower for a geriatric pregnancy, which, by the way, is a deeply offensive and outdated medical term that we need to banish. But a sprinkle is just such an inherently rich, suburban, upper-middle-class concept.
It's the ultimate humble brag.
Yes, the invitation literally implies we are far too wealthy to need actual gifts from you. We just want a sprinkle of your undivided attention and validation.
It is nauseatingly performative. It's a status flex disguised as a casual brunch. And what happens at this beautiful celebration of new life?
Coop happens.
Coop, who just less than 48 hours ago buried his feelings about being violently kidnapped, decides the bot coping mechanism is to flirt aggressively with Mel.
Oh my God, the bathroom scene.
They sneak away from the pastel balloon arch, and they almost hook up in the guest bathroom, but they get interrupted because it's occupied.
So awkward.
It's so profoundly messy. Look at the psychology here. He bounces directly from trying to play the heroic protector, shielding her from his dangerous criminal life, to trying to hook up with her next to a 3-tiered diaper cake.
I know it's bad, but I have to validate Mel's emotional roller coaster here, because she doesn't let the bathroom interruptions stop her.
No, she does not.
Later that night, she actually hooks up with Miguel, the contractor.
Good for her.
And not in a weird fantasy dream sequence this time. It actually happens. Good for her. Her libido is back. The neighbor's annoying wall construction project is permanently canceled. She's finally thriving in the chaos of her own life.
She is a menace.
And I will admit, despite everything we just said about him being a biohazard, I still secretly ship Mel and Coop.
You are actively part of the problem with modern dating.
I know he's toxic, I know she's messy, but the raw chemistry in that bathroom scene, elite.
You are romantically enabling toxic, destructive relationships because the banter is good.
I am a romantic at heart. I can't help it. Okay, but we have to shift gears and talk about the business side of the episode because the financial stakes finally come to a head.
Coop realizes the walls are closing in.
Exactly. He is heavily influenced by Lou at the pawn shop, who, by the way, drops the absolute hardest, most philosophical quote of the entire season.
Well, the vulnerability line.
Lou tells him, "You are only vulnerable until you make a decision," which is brilliant.
So good.
So Coop takes that to heart, puts on a suit, marches directly into the Bailey Russell offices, and confesses everything to Jack Bailey about the cartel origins of Owen Ashe's investment money.
This sequence is critical because this is where we see the actual collateral damage of Coop's so-called personal growth.
Yeah.
He confesses to Jack solely to save his own skin and clear his conscience. And what is the immediate fallout?
Liv gets fired.
Liv gets fired on the spot.
Yeah.
Why? Because Liv knew about the money, she sat on the truth, and she tried to politically maneuver and butter Jack up instead of going to him directly with the crisis.
So unfair.
Coop just completely nuked a 29-year-old's entire corporate career because he got spooked by some guys with iPads and British accents.
I flipped out when Liv got fired. I had to pause the show. It is so incredibly unfair. She was just trying to manage an impossible situation that Coop dragged her into, and Coop just carelessly throws her directly under the bus.
He ruins lives.
But Jack Bailey's reaction to the confession is what really spun my head completely around.
Oh, this was wild.
Jack doesn't call the police. He doesn't panic. Instead, Jack quietly reveals that his prostate cancer has aggressively returned.
Tragic, but he uses it as a flex.
He tells Coop, point blank, that he simply has no energy left in his body to be petty or vindictive anymore. So what does he do? He offers to plug the $400 million hole in the Excelsior Fund himself.
Just insane.
He agrees to handle the internal board fallout, smooth everything over, and quietly return Ashe's dirty money.
Let's really analyze Jack's dying puts things in perspective mentality, because it is fascinating. This is the most massive, incomprehensible flex of liquid capital I have ever seen portrayed on television.
Literally $400 million.
Try to wrap your mind around the logistics of that, to just sit behind a desk and say, oh, we have a $400 million deficit. Don't worry, I'll just plug it.
Like it's petty cash.
Do you understand the level of personal wealth Jack Bailey must have access to? He does it because he's bored, he's dying, and it gives him a puzzle to solve before he expires.
He even asks to play squash.
He casually asks Coop to play squash afterwards. It is the ultimate rich person power move. When you reach that level of wealth, money loses all meaning. It is just a conceptual game to them, even at the absolute end of their lives.
It's insane. It's unfathomable wealth. But because Jack fixes the financial gap, Coop suddenly thinks he's free.
A delusion.
He thinks he has outsmarted the system and taken control of his destiny, which leads us directly into the absolute peak, the crescendo of the episode.
The final spiral.
The Mansion Boys night.
Buckle up, because the structural integrity of the plot completely destabilizes here in the best way possible.
Babes, the tension was suffocating. Coop, Barney, and Nick drive out to Owen Ashe's hyper-modern glass and steel mansion to break the news that the deal is dead.
Bad idea.
And when they walk in, Ashe is completely, terrifyingly unhinged. He is fully manic. He is high on a lethal cocktail of narcotics. They explicitly show it's a mix of ketamine and cocaine.
A terrible combination.
Which, medically speaking, how is his heart even functioning, let alone how is he standing upright and pacing the room?
Well, it's a phenomenon called a Calvin Klein, mixing a dissociative anesthetic with a powerful central nervous system stimulant. It creates a state of energized detachment.
Oh, wow.
And the only reason his heart hasn't exploded is because he's a billionaire, which means his narcotics are synthesized in a pristine lab, not cut with fentanyl in a basement.
True.
But the pharmacology is only half the problem. He is also completely crashing out psychologically, because earlier in the episode, Sam completely publicly rejected his grand romantic karaoke gesture.
Oh my God, the karaoke, I can't.
Ashe stood up in front of a room full of people, hijacked the microphone, and sang a desperate, intensely uncomfortable love song directly to her.
So cringy.
And she hated it. She looked at him with pure pity, told him she didn't want his performative grand gestures, and walked away.
Good for her.
For a narcissistic billionaire who is used to buying affection, that public rejection completely shattered his fragile ego. It pushed him right over the edge into psychosis.
So Ashe is aggressively pacing around this massive, echoing marble room. He is sweating through his silk bathrobe. His pupils are completely dilated. He is high out of his mind.
And he just drops the bomb.
He just casually, maliciously drops the bomb to Nick. He just blurts out that Barney and Coop have been using Nick's franchise gyms to launder millions of dollars of dirty money.
So it throws the truth out there like a grenade.
Just throws it. And Nick's reaction? Babes, Nick is devastated. The pure, heartbreaking betrayal on his face.
You have to feel for Nick. If we analyze his character, Nick is the golden retriever of this friend group.
He really is.
He is simple, he is loyal, and he genuinely did not know. He thought Barney was just doing some clever, slightly gray area accounting to save on taxes.
He had no idea.
He had absolutely no idea they were actively laundering dirty cartel funds through his life's work. The fact that Barney, his supposed friend, almost completely scuttled a legitimate, life-changing business deal just to protect his own nefarious criminal activities with Coop is vile.
So vile.
It is unforgivable. Nick has every right to be furious and walk out.
But there's no time for him to be furious.
Yeah.
Because everything accelerates to 100 miles an hour.
Chaos erupts.
Coop steps up and tells Ashe that he canceled the investment. He tells him the money is being returned, the deal is dead, it's over.
And Ashe snaps.
Ashe completely, violently snaps. He reaches into a drawer and pulls a matte black handgun.
Pointing it right at Coop.
He points it directly at Coop's chest. And he doesn't just threaten Coop, he threatens Coop's family. He threatens the kids and babes, the chaos that erupts in that room.
It was a beautiful, terrifying cluster of absolute panic. It was perfectly choreographed chaos.
Nick, acting on pure adrenaline, lunges and tries to wrestle the gun away from Ashe. A massive scuffle ensues. They are smashing into furniture.
Pure adrenaline.
During the struggle, the gun goes off. A stray gunshot hits a massive, expensive crystal vase sitting on a pedestal, shattering it and spilling a gallon of flower water all over the highly polished marble floor.
The Chekhov's gun of flower water.
Exactly. Simultaneously, as they are wrestling, Ashe loses his balance and falls backward directly into his own massive open-flame gas fireplace.
The bathrobe.
The tail of his silk backrobe instantly catches on fire. So now, let's look at the board. We have a manic, emotionally shattered billionaire, high on a lethal dose of ketamine and cocaine, holding a loaded handgun, literally engulfed in flames, running down his own hallway, chasing them. Screaming at the top of his lungs, calling them little bitches.
It is the most intense, high-stakes thriller moment of the season. And then, the writers pull the rug out from under us. The Looney Tunes moment.
He steps in the puddle. After sprinting, he hits the spilled flower water on the marble, and his feet just fly out from under him. He goes entirely airborne, parallel to the ground.
Physics just took over.
He comes down, cracks the back of his skull against the solid marble floor with a sickening thud, and just stops moving.
He dies instantly.
Barney, terrified, sneaks out from hiding behind a sofa, creeps over to the flaming body, checks his pulse, and looks up. He's dead.
The fire alarm is blaring.
Sprinklers are probably about to go off. Ashe is bleeding out from massive head trauma on the floor. Babes, I reacted with pure, unadulterated hysteria.
I was laughing out loud.
A cartel-adjacent billionaire dying by slipping on a puddle of flower water while actively on fire. It is high camp. It is Shakespearean comedy.
It is absolute slapstick comedy, brilliantly disguised as a prestige drama. It completely subverts the expectation of the heroic shootout.
So good.
But while you were laughing, my brain immediately switched into crisis management mode. I was ruthlessly breaking down the cover-up panic in my head.
Oh, of course you were.
If these three idiots do not immediately pull out their phones, dial 911, and simply tell the absolute truth, the ketamine-addicted homeowner pulled a loaded gun on us, accidentally caught himself on fire in a manic state, and slipped on a puddle. If they don't do that, I'm going to lose my mind.
You know they won't call the cops. You know exactly who these men are. They are going to try and cover it up.
Which perfectly illustrates the sheer compounding stupidity of privileged men fighting over money.
Exactly.
They are literally running from a flaming man who died of blunt force trauma.
Yeah.
And instead of taking the incredibly easy legal out of self-defense and accidental death, you just know they're going to wrap him in a rug and try to bury him in the backyard next to Mel's dead dog.
Next to Arlo.
It is infuriatingly stupid, but mathematically guaranteed to happen.
It is unequivocally the best television I have seen all year. Which actually brings up a huge question about the luxury of their problems.
Let's do segment one.
Segment one, rich people problems we secretly want. If we look at the ridiculous issues these people have, we need to debate which of these insane luxury problems we would happily accept into our own lives.
Oh, I have my answer locked and loaded.
Go ahead.
Having a $400 million hole in a hedge fund that you can just decide to magically plug yourself?
It's the ultimate dream.
Do you understand the astronomical level of liquid capital Jack Bailey must have sitting in diversified, easily accessible accounts? To just casually, over a glass of scotch, fill a $400 million gap so your boss, Cricket, doesn't chew you out on a conference call.
I can't even fathom it.
That is the exact kind of problem I want in my life. I want my biggest daily stress to be moving hundreds of millions of dollars around between offshore accounts like they are Lego bricks.
Seriously, my biggest financial stress today at the grocery store was standing in the produce aisle, actively calculating if I wanted to pay the extra $3 for the organic baby spinach versus the conventional spinach.
The struggle is real.
I want Jack Bailey problems. I want to throw millions at an issue just to make people stop talking to me. But for me, the rich person problem I want is having marble floors so incredibly expensive, so meticulously cut and highly polished that they become a lethal slipping hazard.
You want lethal floors.
Babes, that is the peak of luxury. To die because your floors are too shiny, that means your household cleaning staff is top tier. They buff that marble to a mirror finish. It is an incredibly aesthetic, high-status way to go.
It is a literal occupational hazard of obscene wealth. I'll give you another one, though. What about having a personal business manager like Barney?
Oh, Barney.
A guy whose official job is to handle your tedious tax filings, but who will also voluntarily follow you to active crime scenes, break into residential houses with you in the middle of the night, and check the pulse of the billionaires you accidentally kill.
A true friend.
I desperately want an accountant who is also a ride-or-die felony accomplice.
A ride-or-die starting five? Barney is the MVP of friendship. Okay, but let me ask you a hypothetical. If you somehow found yourself with a $400 million problem, what is the most delusional, unhinged way you would try to fix it?
Delusional?
Yeah.
I wouldn't even try to earn it back legally. I would probably try to win it back in an underground, high-stakes baccarat tournament in Macau, wearing a tailored tuxedo, sipping a martini.
Very cinematic.
Or, realistically, I would just fake my own death in a tragic boating accident and move to a non-extradition country with whatever cash I had left in my pockets. What about you?
I would start a GoFundMe, but I would completely rebrand it as an exclusive, invite-only venture capital opportunity for lifestyle influencers.
Scamming on Instagram.
I'd call it something like Invest in My Aesthetic. I genuinely feel like if I marketed it right, I could raise at least $100 million on vibes and reels alone.
That is deeply pathologically delusional.
I know. I love it. But moving on from our delusions to the delusions of these characters, let's hit segment 2. Most likely to be hiding something. There are so many shady characters left on the board heading into the finale, we need to figure out who is hiding the biggest secrets.
Okay, we absolutely have to go back to the kidnappers.
Yeah.
If Ashe was telling the truth, and honestly, considering how genuinely confused he looked when Coop accused him right before he caught on fire, I fully believe him who hired those guys.
They had English accents. That is a massive clue.
The accent is the entire key to the mystery. Let's debate the primary suspects. Cricket is the obvious surface-level choice.
She warned him.
She is the boss of the firm. She explicitly warned Coop that she would have his head on a pike if he messed with the money. She has the infinite resources to hire private military contractors.
What?
But there's a flaw in that theory. The kidnappers were almost too polite. The money stays where it is. It didn't feel like a cartel warning. It felt bureaucratic. It felt like a corporate compliance meeting with zip ties.
Right. What about Liv? Could Liv have completely snapped and hired them to scare Coop into not talking to Jack to save her own job?
No, absolutely not. We've established this. Liv is a 29-year-old finance bro in a pencil skirt.
Fair.
She might know how to short a stock, but she does not have the dark web underground connections to hire polite British mercenaries on a Tuesday night.
Okay, what about DeMille, the lawyer? He has a very sinister, quiet vibe. He knows where all the bodies are buried.
DeMille is a strong possibility, but I want to float a theory from the internet that I read this morning, and it completely rewired my understanding of the show.
Ooh, tell me immediately. I love a good spiral theory.
The theory posits that Owen Ashe was never the mastermind. He was just the loud, obnoxious public face, a front man to draw attention.
Okay, follow.
The real arms dealer, the actual big boss, pulling all of Ashe's strings and controlling the illicit money, is Barney's father-in-law.
Wait, Babes, shut up.
Think about the cinematic framing. During the bar scene 3 episodes ago, when the guys are all joking around, being loud and obnoxious, the camera does this very specific lingering silent cut to Barney's father-in-law sitting in the corner, frowning in disapproval.
Oh my God, I remember that.
He has old money. He has the silent power dynamic. He fully controls Grace's massive trust fund, which means he controls Barney. What if he's the actual cartel kingpin, and Ashe was just his ketamine-addicted, expendable puppet?
I am spiraling. My mind is blown. That makes so much narrative sense. It would make Barney's entire world violently implode if he finds out his terrifying father-in-law is the actual cartel boss Coop is stealing from.
The drama would be exquisite.
Oh my God, the familial betrayal. Okay, but wait, what about Nick? Is there any world where Nick is actually a mastermind playing the long game? Is he actually a golden retriever who didn't know about the money laundering, or is he playing dumb to avoid prison?
I have analyzed Nick's behavior closely, and I genuinely think Nick is just that stupid.
You think?
He's a fitness guy. His brain operates on macros and protein synthesis. He just wants to open boutique gyms and drink shakes. I do not think he possesses the cognitive capacity for a complex, multi-layered double cross.
That is so true. When Ashe dropped the bomb, Nick was so deeply, genuinely hurt. He looked like a puppy that got kicked. You used my gyms. Poor Nick.
Poor dumb Nick. Let's move to segment 3, neighborhood gossip emergency.
Yes. If this exact sequence of events happened in our quiet, boring suburb, what information would instantly combust the neighborhood gossip network?
Burying the neighbor's dog. Without a shadow of a doubt.
No.
If anyone on our street at 2 a.m. saw a woman sobbing hysterically in her garden, pressing dirt over a shallow, unmarked grave, while the actual owners of the dog are actively walking the streets with flashlights, shaking a bag of treats and yelling, "Arlo!"
It would be chaos.
The Nextdoor app would fundamentally crash. The servers would catch fire from the sheer volume of posts. It violates the deepest sacred trust of suburbia. Thou shalt not mess with another person's golden retriever.
The Ring camera footage would go completely viral. It would be on the local news by 6 p.m.
Nancy Grace would come out of retirement to cover it.
It is the most unhinged, deeply personal suburban crime imaginable. But for me, the gossip that would ruin lives is the karaoke rejection.
Oh, this secondhand embarrassment.
Babes, imagine being at a fancy, catered neighborhood block party, and the richest, most arrogant guy there gets up, hogs the microphone, aggressively sings a desperate love song directly at a woman, and she publicly, coldly rejects him in front of the entire homeowners association.
It would be brutal.
The sheer suffocating awkwardness of that moment. I would have to pack my bags and move in the middle of the night. The secondhand embarrassment would force me to relocate to another state and change my identity.
It was physically painful to watch. But let me throw this psychological grenade at you. Finding out at a baby sprinkle that the husband just secretly got a vasectomy and announcing it while people are eating mini quiches.
It is so unbelievably messy. Announcing the deliberate end of your fertility in a room full of people celebrating a pregnancy, it's hostile.
Can I just go in a slightly sarcastic, entirely justified rant for a second about the sociology of men and vasectomies?
Please do.
The way modern men act like getting a simple outpatient vasectomy is this massive Herculean physical toll on their fragile bodies. They act like they are heroically donating a vital organ to science.
So true.
The reality is, you sit on a bag of frozen peas for a weekend and play Xbox while complaining. Women are out here dealing with the trauma of geriatric pregnancies, the hormonal chaos of menopause, casually burying dead dogs in the middle of the night to protect their lawns, and Barney is acting like he just survived a tour in a war zone because a doctor made a tiny incision.
Pathetic.
It's pathetic.
Preach. Say it louder for the people in the back. The absolute audacity of men. And then to bring it up and center your minor discomfort at your wife's baby shower, it is top-tier nuclear gossip.
If we were at that party, I would be furiously texting you from under the gift table, like, did you hear what Barney just said? He wants a medal for his frozen peas.
Exactly. I would have already ordered the Uber home. All right, we need to bring this to a close by evaluating these people as human beings. Segment 4, would we actually be friends with them? Let's go through the major characters and debate who we would genuinely in real life hang out with versus who we would cross the street to aggressively avoid. Let's start with Barney. Is he the ultimate ride-or-die bestie for blindly sticking with Coop through felonies, burglaries, and active murder scenes, or is he just a spectacular idiot?
He is an idiot, but he's a fiercely loyal idiot.
Verdict. Hang out.
Hang out, really.
He's the kind of guy who will help you move a heavy couch on a Sunday, or apparently help you cover up a billionaire's accidental death without asking too many moral questions. You need one reliable Barney in your life for logistical emergencies.
Agreed. I would happily hang out with Barney, maybe grab a beer with him. What about Mel? She is wildly messy, going through intense menopause, hooking up with the local contractors in her kitchen, and burying pets in the dead of night.
Verdict. Fun for cocktails, but keep your pets away from her at all costs.
I would absolutely get expensive drinks with Mel because the unfiltered gossip she would provide would be legendary. She is a walking natural disaster, but she's highly entertaining. Just never, under any circumstances, ask her to dog sit while you go on vacation.
Oh, absolutely not. I would definitely hire her contractor, though. Miguel is looking very good this season. His tile work seems impeccable.
Predictable. What about Coop?
Okay, Coop. He genuinely thinks he's the hero of his own story. He tries to do the right thing in his twisted mind, but the reality is he is toxic. He drags absolutely everyone down to his level, and he actively ruins the lives of Liv, Elena, Nick.
Verdict. Avoid at all costs.
Ah,
I have to rant about this again to make it perfectly clear. The guys online idolizing Coop like he's this cool, suave, misunderstood anti-hero are terrifying.
so terrifying.
He is a terrible friend. He is a coward masquerading as a tough guy. He puts everyone around him in extreme legal and physical danger, and then has the audacity to act like a victim when things inevitably go wrong.
He plays the victim so well.
If Coop moved into my neighborhood, I would put up higher privacy fences and immediately upgrade my security system. He is a walking liability to anyone who breathes his air.
He really is a parasite. He is incredibly aesthetic, I will give him that. His jawline could cut glass. But his personality is a literal biohazard. I would cross a busy highway to avoid him.
Good. I'm glad we have some established boundaries.
Barely. Okay, babes, that brings us to the end of our breakdown. Thank you so much to the Snark Squad for hanging out with us, drinking rum, and spiraling over the absolute beautiful mess that is Westmont Village.
It's been a highly therapeutic Friday evening. I feel my blood pressure lowering already.
We want to hear from every single one of you down in the comments. We have very important questions for the audience to settle our debates.
Settle them correctly, please.
Number 1, would you rather own a Pilates reformer in your own home, or do you need to take classes at a studio for accountability? Let us know who won the debate.
I am obviously right about the studio memberships being a scam, but feel free to humor her need for external validation.
Number 2, what is your absolute ultimate comfort food? Is it ramen, or are you just factually wrong?
It has to be ramen.
Number 3, are Arnold Palmers actually underrated, and what is your preferred rum-to-tea ratio?
Heavy on the rum.
And number 4, the most important question. Who do you trust the least on the show heading into the massive season finale next week?
If you are paying attention, you should trust absolutely none of them. They are all compromised.
Same. I trust no one. Babes, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps the algorithm so much and ensures we can keep buying organic spinach and premium white rum to fuel these rants.
And before you log off, we want to leave you with one final, deeply problematic, completely unresolved thought from the episode that you need to chew on.
Oh, this is the one that is literally keeping me up at night. I can't stop thinking about it.
Really think about the logistics of this crime scene. Owen Ashe was an eccentric billionaire with a highly advanced paranoid security setup.
Cameras everywhere.
It has been firmly established in previous episodes that he had high-definition surveillance cameras all over the interior of his mansion. So even if Coop, Barney, and Nick managed to somehow clean up the massive pool of blood, hide the discharged handgun, and drag a burnt body out to bury it in the backyard next to Arlo, what are those 3 technologically illiterate idiots going to do about the cloud storage?
Babes, the cloud.
There is 4K high-definition footage sitting on a remote encrypted server somewhere in California right now, perfectly capturing a billionaire catching on fire and slipping on a puddle while 3 men watch. You can bury a body in the dirt, but you cannot bury the cloud.
I am literally unwell thinking about it. The IT guy at Ashe's private security company is going to log in on Monday morning to check the server logs, and he is going to have an absolute heart attack at his desk.
They are completely mathematically, legally doomed.
They are so doomed. It's over for them.
We will see you next week for the finale to watch this entire house of cards burn to the ground. Until then, stay messy, stay delusional, and see you on the Snark side.